be telling you about the Destiny beta. Destiny is a futuristic first-person shooter game made by Bungie. And this will start with telling you the history of the publisher and developers of the game. The publisher is Activision, which is one of the biggest video game publishers for the last probably 10 or more years. One of the biggest titles is Call of Duty, which you may have heard of. I found an online article called, from VG Charts, and it's talked about the sales history of Call of Duty. It's pretty much continuously one of the most sold video games every single year, because they come out with one every year. Back in 2007 and 2006, Modern Warfare, the original, and World of War sold about 16 million games in those years. And then Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3 sold about 26 million, a little more recently. Developer of the game is Bungie. They created Halo, and you probably heard of Halo also. It basically modeled the first-person shooter genre for, all the way up until this point. They made Halo for about 10 years, and now they're creating Destiny for the next 10 years. So I'm not going to be talking about the game today. I'm going to be talking about the beta, which is basically a small demo of the game, and it's basically just to give the players a little glimpse of the game, what it's going to be like, see if they like to play the game so they can buy the full game later on, and it helps for developers to fix issues and bugs that are in the game so that they don't launch a subpar title. And I found another online article by MP First about what's actually going to be in the beta, because it's not the full game, it's just little parts of it. So they do have one area of the game that's an open world exploration and story mode of the game. You can play that by yourself or with up to 3 other people. There's also other random players out in the world that you can run into. They have one strike mission, which is basically a 3-player co-op game, which is just a linear game mode story mission with boss fights along the way. And last, they have competitive multiplayer, which is probably what Bungie is most known for. There's only 4 maps in the beta available to play, and there's going to be one game mode called Control. And it's a 6v6 game mode, and there's 3 classes, which are Titan, Hunter, and Warlock. Titan is more of like an armored soldier class. The Hunter is a stealthy rogue class who uses snipers and melee weapons. And Warlock uses magic as weapons and not just guns. And they all have completely different looks, and you can customize all your characters and make them look how you want to. You can go out in the world and find better gear and better loot and better armor that you can bring back into multiplayer, and that's actually how you can be better than other people. In another game mode that they call Iron Banner, where you actually use the armor and gear that you find out in the world, and you bring back the multiplayer and play with that. And like I said, they have one game mode, it's called Control, which is where there's 3 areas on the map to capture, and the more areas that your team has under control, the more your kills are worth. And so then by the end of about a 10 or 12 minute period, whoever has the most points wins the game. Bungie is also very known for their vehicle gameplay and multiplayer. And there are only 2 vehicles on one of the maps in the beta. And one of those is called the Interceptor, which is a slow floating tank, basically, and it shoots missiles to hit people. And there's also something called a Pike, which is sort of a quick speed bike. It's a little bit smaller, and it has a auto turret on the front of it to kill people. And pretty much whoever has control of the vehicles in the map are going to win the game, because it's very hard to kill people without using, a heavier weapon. And last, on Bungie's website, Bungie.net, it shows all the different times to play Destiny. So it starts on July 17th for PlayStation, which is PS3 and PS4, the new generation of consoles. And then on Xbox, it starts July 20th. And it all ends on July 27th, which gives them about a month and a half to go back and fix the game however they need to before it releases on September 9th. And so like I said, the beta is pretty much just a good way for players to get their hands on the game, see if they like it, see if they want to play it, and for developers to go back and fix it. and so that they can come out with a good game that people can play for years after that. All right. Well, thanks again for coming out and listening to my speech, guys.